We were told that we fought World War II to stop the Nazis. But the second it ended, the US government started paying them. And I'm not talking about a few bad apples. I'm talking about over 1,600 Nazis brought here, given jobs, and handed new lives by our own intelligence agencies. It was called Operation Paperclip. It was run by the Joint Intelligence Objectives Agency in 1945. The goal? Recruit German scientists before the Soviet Union could get them. The problem? Most of the men they wanted weren't just scientists that lived under Hitler. They were full-blown Nazis, some even accused of war crimes. So what did the US do? They literally erased their Nazi past from official records. Also, they could legally enter this country, change files, forge histories, stamp the papers clean, all to make sure that these men could work for the US military and NASA. So let's talk specifics. Werner von Braun, this officer, built the B-2 rockets used to bomb London, which were made with the same slave labor from concentration camps. He became the face of NASA's Apollo program. Arthur Rudolph managed the Nazi rocket factory at Middlework, where thousands of forced laborers died. He later ran NASA's Saturn V rocket program. Hubertus Stronghold, called the father of space medicine in the US. But in Germany, he was accused of overseeing experiments on prisoners. Kurt Debus, former SS member who became NASA's first launch director at Cape Canaveral. Walter Schreiber, Nazi medical officer linked to experiments on concentration camp prisoners, later worked for the US Air Force. These weren't just alleged Nazis. These were documented SS members, war criminals, and Hitler loyalists, handed new careers by the US government. And here's the part that should make your blood boil. At the exact same time America was flying Nazis across the ocean, Black veterans were being denied World War II GI benefits, redlined out of home loans, and kept out of universities. We told the world we stood against fascism. But when fascists had something that we wanted, like rockets, missiles, or Cold War leverage, we scrubbed their records and cut the checks. For decades, the U.S. hid just how many Nazis it actually recruited. It wasn't until the 1980s and 90s that journalists declassified those files and exposed the full scope of Operation Paperclip. And here's the thing, some of those men died in the U.S. as respected scientists with medals and honors, never facing a single trial for their Nazi crimes. The legacy? The moon landing made possible by a Nazi, Cold War missile programs built by Nazis, and a precedent that in America's power calculus, morality is negotiable. So when you hear America's always stood for freedom, remember this. We didn't just forgive Nazis. We funded them. We protected them. We let them shape the very technology that we brag about today. Because in this country, we'll spend generations telling you who the enemy is, and then pay that enemy to work for us. Only if it serves our interests.